Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope that you're all doing really well. Today I want to show you guys my updated makeup routine, and there are some new products that I'm using and some new techniques that I'm doing that I want to share with you guys. This is the makeup that I do pretty much on an everyday basis if I'm doing my makeup that day. I don't wear makeup every single day, but when I do, this is the type of makeup that I love. It's just very soft, natural. It looks like real skin. It's not very heavy, but it's still kind of perfected and a bit more glamorous. I really hope that you guys enjoy, and let's get started. So I'm all fresh faced. So I've just washed my face, applied a little bit of moisturizer, and the first thing I'm going to do is prime my skin. This is one I've really been liking lately. It's from Becca. It's the First Light Priming Filter, and it's in this cool purple color, which is really meant to brighten up the skin. Then I like to take just a little bit of the Benefit POREfessional. So I'm just going to pat that in right there beside my nose. It just really helps to fill in those pores nicely. And just a little tip, if you guys tend to get these smile lines like right here around your mouth, a great thing to do is to put a little bit of this primer right there as well. And it helps to kind of prevent a bit of the creasing throughout the day. But it is great to smile, so don't worry too much about that. And I find that taking some time to really prep the skin, making sure that it's moisturized, primed, that the pores are filled in, it really does make a difference. Moving on to some foundation, the one that I've been loving recently is from Estee Lauder. This is the Double Wear Light. And today I really felt like using this brush from Artis. This is the Oval 7 brush. It's super soft and very luxurious feeling. Just going to swipe it across and then blend it in. This foundation is definitely a medium coverage, doesn't have as much as the original, but I really like that for every day. And then for areas where I have more discoloration, I'll go in with a concealer that's my skin tone, maybe a little bit lighter, and I will just correct those areas so I don't have to put too much foundation on my skin. So next I'm taking a concealer. This is from NARS in the color Biscuit. It's their Radiant Creamy Concealer. And I'm just going to apply that to any areas where I have some imperfections and some darkness. I tend to get some right here, around my mouth, and around my nose. And then with the same foundation brush, I'm just going to lightly blend that in. Next for my under eyes, I'm going to take a little bit of this Becca Brightening Under Eye Corrector, and it comes in this cute little pot. Has kind of a peachy tone to it. I'm just going to dab my finger in there just a little bit. This is very pigmented, like very strong. You just need a tiny amount. And I'm just going to press that underneath my eyes. Moving on to some concealer. This is from NARS. This is in the shade Ginger. And I like to bring this quite far up onto the sides of my nose. I usually blend out my concealer with a dampened beauty blender, but recently I've really been liking instead to take a little brush and just pat it into my skin. I feel like this absorbs less of the product. It just leaves more pigment under the eyes. I just blend it out with a brush, and then I will go back in with my beauty blender. Once it's all blended in, I'm going to take my Mercier Secret Brightening Under Eye Powder, and I'm going to dip my dampened beauty blender in there. I like to put quite a lot on my beauty blender, and then I will make sure to look upwards as I'm pressing this underneath my eyes, just to really get the powder in there and prevent any little wrinkles from forming. So as you can see, I have a lot of powder underneath my eyes, and I like to kind of bake with it for a few minutes, but just while I do my eyebrows and set the rest of my makeup. So I'm going to let that sit. Again, I'm going to take my dampened beauty blender, and I'm going to now dip it into the Mercier translucent powder. This is just the normal one, and I'm going to press it into the areas that I tend to get more oily or shiny throughout the day. And I also like to set the smile lines around my mouth, and I find that this also helps to prevent a lot of creasing. And that's all the foundation that I'm going to set. I don't really touch the outer parts too much. I'm just going to let that sit on my skin while I do my eyebrows. I'm going to use the Anastasia Brow Powder Duo and this little double-ended spoolie brush, and this is in the color dark brown. I'm going to take the darker shade and then just following up with a little bit of this brow gel. This is from Benefit. It is the Gimme Brow. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to take my brush and I'm just going to dust off the excess powder. And when you do this, it just leaves the perfect amount of powder behind, and it just beautifully sets your makeup, and it leaves a really nice kind of soft finish onto the skin. And then just a little bit on my forehead. Continuing with the skin, I'm going to take a bronzer. This is one of my favorites. It's from Benefit. It is the Hoola bronzer. I'm just going to take the brush that it comes with. I'm just going to apply it right there underneath my cheekbone and just dust it a little bit upwards. So I'm kind of contouring and bronzing up the skin at the same time. Just really nice and sun-kissed is what I'm usually going for. I'm also going to put a little bit here on my jawline. With the same bronzer, I'm going to take a really fluffy eyeshadow brush, which is quite large, and I'm going to run that in like so, tap off the excess, and I'm going to apply that in my crease, just very, very softly. And I'm also going to run that down the side of my nose. And then onto some blush. I love a nice peachy pink blush. It just does something so beautiful to the skin. It just makes it look nice and alive. This is one that I've really been liking lately. It's from Benefit, and I believe it's called GALifornia. And this smells like some beautiful cocktail, pineapple, coconut. It smells like the beach and it's beautiful. I just love opening this up and getting that little whiff of beautiful fragrance when I'm doing my makeup. I'm going to take this little blusher brush. This is from MAC, and I'm just going to swirl it in like so. It's very nice for like spring, summer, which is coming up so soon. It really makes the skin look so pretty. And sometimes I just put the excess on my lids. And then for highlight, I'm going to take my DIOR Nude Air Luminizer. This is probably no surprise. And I like to apply it with a fan brush. This is one from Sephora. So pretty. And then with a smaller eyeshadow brush, I'm going to take a little bit more, and I'm just going to apply that into the inner corners of the eyes. And with that same brush, I'm going to run a little bit down the center of my nose. That's pretty much all that I do for my skin. For the eyes, I usually just take the same highlighter, and with my finger, I just press on a little bit to the center of my lids. But I have been using this eyeshadow palette lately. This one is from Persona Cosmetics. Those are the colors. Very, very beautiful. I'm going to take this very fluffy blending eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to pick up this gold color called Gold Digger. I'm going to sweep this just very softly across the lower eyelid. And it's just going to add a really nice kind of reflective sheen to the eyelid that looks very, very natural. And then with this eyeshadow brush, I'm just going to dip into Charming and Maverick just a little bit. And I'm just going to run that in my crease. Usually by this point I will put on some mascara, but I do feel like doing a bit of a winged liner today, just a very soft one. I'm going to try to do a very soft one. This is from Tom Ford. It is the Eye Defining Pen. It's such a good liquid liner. I don't do this on an everyday basis because it does take, you know, extra bit of time and like more concentration, but I do think it looks really nice. So I will be applying this today. For mascara, you guys know that I love the Ardell Demi Wispy lashes. I do wear those when I film or if I'm going out for like, you know, a really special event. But for day to day, I just wear mascara. This is one from Benefit that I use. Quite often. It's their Roller Lash Mascara. I do have my eyelashes lifted, so I have kind of like a permanent curl to my lashes right now. So the eyes are done, and now I'm going to move on to lips. I'm just applying a little bit of lip balm. I've pretty much only been using this lip liner for the last few weeks. This is from MAC. It is their Boldly Bare lip liner. I love this so much. The tone of this nude is just perfect for my skin color. I feel like it makes me look a bit more tanned, and it's just a very natural color, but it still looks like you have something, you know, special on your lips. And because it's a lip liner, it just lasts a really long time on your lips and you don't have to think about touching up too many times. So I love this so much. The last thing I'm going to do is just add a little bit more highlight to my collarbone and to my shoulders, just to kind of balance out the glow that we have on the face, and then just to set everything in place and make sure that the powders are just nice and blended in and it lasts for a really long time. I'm going to take my Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray, just mist myself a little bit. And there you have the final look. This is my everyday makeup routine. As you can see, it's not too heavy, but the skin just looks really nice and perfected, and there's a little bit of a glow. And this is the type of makeup that I can wear during the day, but then it can also take me into the nighttime. Like, I feel ready to go have a nice dinner or to maybe even go out. I will have all the products that I used down below in the description box in case you guys are interested in anything that I used. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And as always, you can find me on my social media. I am on Instagram and Snapchat. Both of those are at AnnieJaffrey. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're all having a really nice day, and I will see you guys soon. Mwah! Bye guys.